Hey, what's up you guys? It's Lawrence from Sim Coaches and I've got Rex with me today. It's Sunday, it's Labor Day weekend, and I'm gonna give you guys kind of like an updated shop tour, show you some of the cool stuff that we're working on, because there's some cool stuff. So yeah, you ready to get started, Bubba? Let's do it. So it's been a little bit since I gave you guys kind of a shop update, show you what's going on, the things that we're building. And you guys have asked really a lot of questions about what are the different parts that we have going in here. Because as a lot of you know, we don't only work on simulator parts. This shop actually started off as a shop that was making performance car parts first with the Mark IV Supra. And so there's a lot of that stuff going on still. And yeah, I'd like to show it to you guys. We have a lot of cool projects that we're working on. Yeah, so I'll start off here at the beginning or at the front of the shop. We're at the shop bay door, and I just happened to see on the cart here, we actually have these bigger plates. I'll show you the project that we're using these two plates for. They're mounting plates to hold some hardware. So I'll show you guys that. That's pretty cool. It's over on the back bench. Hey guys, it's Lawrence and Rex, and we want to take one quick break for your video and tell you guys that if you're having trouble out there on the simulator, you can't figure out why guys are so much faster, why they're able to push the car deeper into their braking zones, then I want to tell you guys, chances are your pedals are just not doing it for you. We're helping drivers reach a new level every single day simply by just introducing them to our hydraulic pedals. If you guys have any questions about how hydraulic pedals work and how they can actually help you, I want you guys to shoot me a text at 702-246-2295 and I'll answer any questions that you guys have, and I'll help you guys make the transition over to the hydraulic pedals. So text me at 702-246-2295 and I'll help you guys make the swap. All right, let's get back to the video. The other thing that we have over here on this this shelf, these are actually brake calipers. If you can imagine, that's a half of a brake caliper. These are all one half of it. You'll see a couple of those actually around the shop because that is a project that we're working on. For a little bit of time, you guys have been asking us about a throttle upgrade, and you wanted to be able to have a stop so that you can actually set the amount of stroke that your throttle has. Well, I'm super excited to tell you guys that that project has been on the machines. They're all right here. These are the new damper billet mounts. So there they are. You can see actually there's a threaded hole on it. And so now with that threaded hole, we're actually able to add a stop, and yeah, that'll limit the pedal travel. Over here inside of the Doosan, actually you can see that there's quite a few of them on the machine that we're still rolling through. So we'll have a lot of those in stock for a really long time. Those are the V2 throttle damper mounts. What you doing, Rex? What you doing, big boy? I love this guy. That's my big guy. So other cool things that are being worked on. These are intake manifolds for the Mark IV Supra. This is actually by Sleeper Designs. So Sleeper Designs is the other company that's inside this, underneath this roof. You can see actually some more brake calipers. But Sleeper Designs does all the actual car manufacturing work. So when you see real car parts that are coming out of this place, that's all under the name of Sleeper Designs. So if you want to see some of that stuff, just Google Sleeper Designs. The website on Sleeper Designs, that side, isn't optimized. We haven't actually gone through that and worked on that, because we basically do like business to business stuff with that one. Whereas Sim Coaches, of course, is for you guys. It's for the consumers, it's for the drivers. So over here on the car side of our shop, you can see a ton of runners. Those are the runners for the air intake. Up here we got the fuel rails. Yeah, a bunch of just miscellaneous things that are over here. You can see top pads, billet top pads. This is a brake. This is so that you can put two calipers on a car that's meant to only have one brake caliper, so you can have one on the left, one on the right. So I accidentally hit the button there and it stopped the recording, but it's so you can have one on the left, one on the right, and do those kinds of cool things. We also machine stuff for, these are intercoolers. So then you'd have a core, those are the intercooler ends, and then between two of those ends you would have a core, an intercooler core. So really cool stuff actually going on constantly over here on that side of the shop. And then over here on this side, this is the sim spot where we have a lot of cool projects. You see all the simulator stuff behind me. So I'll actually kind of walk you through some of the other products that we've been working on that we haven't shown you guys. These are really cool. So these are for the triple and the widescreen integrated monitor mount. These arms are actually modeled after the Porsche race car, the wing, the spoiler wing, how it comes up and over the wing. It's super cool. I'll put one of the photos of that here. That's what that is. So that's for those. These are VESA mounts. So for your monitors, when you have the triple integrated mount, for whether it's the widescreen or it's the triples, whatever it is, these VESA mounts are for 100mm and 75mm, so it'll work on both of those. We have these little guys. These are for e-stops. For the Simi Cubes, you need a little e-stop mount. That's what that guy is. Keep coming along. You can see these are the arms for the triple monitor mounts. So these are the side arms, and they are reversible. They work on both sides. You can see that they are machines that each side works. They're reversible, so we don't have to machine two products. That was really a genius idea. This is the middle of that. So this would be the one that would hold the widescreen as well as the center screen on the integrated monitor mount. Over here we have some load cell pedal arms. The load cells are our new pedal, and actually here's one right here that's getting made. So that's just about all of the pieces or the billet pieces at least, that it takes to make one of those. So there's the arms. We have some pedals up here on the shelf. Giselle, she has been doing an amazing job. You guys haven't met Giselle yet, but she is an absolute badass, man. She builds things to such a really high level, and she does it fast, really good. This is a product that we haven't really shown you guys at all, but one that's been asked about for a really long time. This is our inverted mount. So now this actually isn't finished. This isn't the way that it would ship. This is just our prototype. But the corners, those black 3D printed corners that you could see, these guys right here, these would be, they'll be billet on the finished piece. We also have caps for all of these that we've made. So it looks really cool. We basically just made it 3D printed just so we could test it, we can mock it up, we can make sure all that stuff works. And then there's these guys. These are really cool. This project is actually for a NASCAR team, and the entire point of these pedals, these are the pedals that are inside of the NASCAR next gen cars. And so what we're meant to do with these is we're meant to make these into simulator pedals so that they can actually replicate and have their in-car pedal on their simulator, so everything feels realistic. It feels just like it's supposed to. So these are super cool. This is not a finished pedal set. I'm sure you're looking at it and you're like, well, where in the world do my feet go? On these little stands here, there's actually a plate that sits here, so your feet sit above all of these cylinders, and all that stuff is actually hidden. These pedals are the pull type. I can't do it because I only have one hand, but these rods actually go that way. So it pulls on them, whereas ours push on them. So a little bit of a different design, but those are really cool. We're gonna have those finished here in a little bit. Now, these are, in my opinion, one of my favorite pieces, because we were having trouble finding fittings that would fit, because there's not a lot of clearance here for the top of where the plate goes and then where these fittings are at. They are really close. And we couldn't get the iRacing fittings in stock. So since we have all the machines back there to do it, we actually made our very own low profile fittings. And you can see they are amazing. So they're 3AN hydraulic fittings, and they're meant just to fit underneath this plate, so we have all the room in the world that we need for all of the hydraulic lines to come off of there. So just trying to keep everything as clean as we possibly can and looking, you know, good. That's kind of just the way that we do it. This was a project actually that we were just doing earlier this week. Saw Seth was working on it. It's the brake hats for his Mark IV Supra. So the Mark IV, I'm trying to get this thing finished, trying to get running, but also making it badass at the same time, right? So he's putting a big brake system on it, so it looks super cool, and it's all out of billet. And you can see that top hat right there, how amazing that looks, how awesome. There's the one already on the back. Actually, on the back, what we're testing over here is for a dual caliper setup. So kind of what I showed you over there with the bracket, there'll be the caliper here, then there's also the caliper on that side. And you can see the 3D printed rotor in there. So a lot of things that get made over here, we really test 3D printing first, because of course that just helps with the designing, right? If we make a mistake in 3D printing, it doesn't cost nearly the same amount of money to make a new 3D print, whereas it takes a long time on the machines, because you have to set up the process. You got to set the machine up, and then if you make a mistake, then the machine is down until you finish, fix that mistake. And so it's just not economical to test things on a machined or a finished product, or something off the machine. You should always just 3D print it. It's so much faster. And almost all the products that we actually make here, version 1 is never the one that sees the market. It's always like version 2, 3, or in the case of our steering wheel, it's like version 11, 12. We put a lot of effort into a lot of these projects that we're working on to make sure that they are right. And so actually over here, we do have one of our faces for the steering wheel. This is the face that we'll be going with, which is super cool. This of course is 3D printed, whereas the finished product won't be 3D printed. It'll actually be carbon face or aluminum face, whatever it is that we're doing. But yeah, so this is how we always test our products to make sure that we get it right, to make sure that, you know, ultimately it works for you guys, and that's always the goal. Now on the simulator in here in the office, the one that's just right over there over my shoulder, we actually have the new pedal set on it. And if you're wondering what the new pedal set I'm talking about is, I'm talking about our load cell pedals. So if you're wondering what our load cell pedal is, it's that one right there in the middle. And it's quite a bit different actually from the hydraulic pedals and the way that it actually feels underneath your foot. We're using some bushings inside of the stack, right inside that back, in that back housing, and that's actually what delivers the feel or the feeling underneath your foot. What's super cool is what we thought about was to add some level of adjustability to it. And so there's a whole lot of different adjustability pins that you can change this stack. That completely changes the angle of the pedal, but we also put one of our bias knobs back here. So you can actually turn the knob, and what you're doing is you're preloading now the bushings there inside the stack, and you're just basically making it to where it's already now stiffer inside of its stroke. So when you press on the pedal, now the pedal is physically stiffer. So that's super cool. It's also a really easy way to swap out the bushings, because to swap the bushings out, all you have to do is take this knob off, then this, you know, the shaft and everything comes out on the front, out the forward face of it, and then you take the bushings off and then just reverse the process. You can swap bushings out in like less than a minute. So there's a lot of cool things that, you know, we're working on right now. That's super exciting for you guys. And there's even things that actually I haven't even shown you that are on Elijah's computer that have been designed that we haven't even started 3D printing yet and actually testing and doing that. So that's really exciting as we just move forward and we go on throughout the times. Now, before I get out of here and I close this thing off, Rex, sit. Rex and I've got something to ask of you. Rex, sit, bud. Good boy. We want to ask if you would subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. We saw like 73% of the people, did you know that, bud? That watch our videos are not subscribed. So if you guys could, hit that subscribe button, hit a like, and comment below. Let us know what you guys want to watch, what you want to see going on, and maybe what products we can actually make in here in the shop that you guys are really interested in. Right, bud? Well, all right, with that, we're going to get out. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.